Tracy here with TA Millwork, Wichita, Kansas. We're going to talk a little bit this morning about our flexible extension jambs that we make here. TA Millwork is a custom millwork shop. We make a lot of different types of items like cupolas, windows, shutters. We don't make anything that's stock off of the shelf that you can call and say, you know, send me these. We always have to make them custom. The one item that we do make that we keep on the shelf is a flexible extension jamb. And this can be made to fit any arch. Like if you want it to fit this casing right here, it'll just bend right around to that. If you need something else, it'll bend around to that. This is a oak jamb that we had a special order for a guy. The ones that we stock are a 4 7/8 wide here, and they're a 10-foot long. So when you get it, it will look like that, and you can ship it out to your customer. Typically, they won't need anything over 5 inches wide. This is more of a standard size, so the really nice thing about this, it can be trimmed at the job with any standard equipment that your trim guy has. It takes essentially a table saw to rip it to width, and then a chop saw or whatever to cut it to length. Then they can attach it to their casing and nail the casing up to the window as a unit, and they're done. So it's a very, very quick, very, very simple item. Just not a whole lot to talk about, kind of a real quick show and tell deal. But when you put it to the casing, which we'll just do a real quick show and tell here to kind of show you how it is, or your trim guy can figure it out, I'm sure. And you want to nail probably 3 to 4 inches so that the curve stays in alignment with the casing. But I just want you to see that it's in no way rocket science. Okay. So there we have it, nailed together, trim, extension jamb on the casing. All they got to do, put it in their hole, nail the casing to the wall, and they're done. And this can be provided to you. Like I say, pine is the standard. That's a paint grade item. This is an oak. We have our own resaw and all our equipment that we need to make the veneers in any wood that you want. Well, let's say any wood that's available to us that we can make it in. A knotty alder doesn't work real good because you got to cut down to a thin veneer, and then you got a lot of holes left over. So if you do an alder, you like to go with a premium alder, so you got less holes showing. They're good for arched windows, half round windows, and then always remember arched cased openings inside the house where you've got an arched wall or an arched pass-through that you want to trim out. So they work very well there. Light arches, if you're doing something like this would be a good example. This is probably an 1/8 inch veneer here, and the only con that this has is that you really can't have a reveal because the veneer just isn't thick enough. But if you have a slight arch, we can make the veneer thicker, and then you can have a reveal on it. If it's a paint grade, you can actually give yourself a reveal and then come in here and caulk that to where you don't see these little boards sticking out. The caulking will hide it, so you can get your reveal on a paint grade, you just can't do that on a stain grade. So that's, I guess, the only downside you got to think about. One thing we wanted to talk about too, if you're going to do this to the inside of your curved window, we also provide curved exterior trim in PVC. So we'll just give you a real quick show and tell on how to do that, or what we have available there. Thanks. Here we have the form ready for our PVC. It's a WM180 AZAC brand brick mold. Now you can see it comes out of the oven. It's quite flexible. You can tie it in a knot, whatever. So we just lay it up around the form, grab a couple of jiffy clamps, lightly squeeze one on each end. Then pretty much just let it cool. When it's cool enough to where it can't bend anymore, take it out of the clamps and it's ready to go. Okay, so there we go, just a few minutes, put it in the oven, heat it up, bend it around the form. It's still nice and warm and toasty. We've pretty much got the exterior of the window trimmed out there. So just in a few short steps, everything you need. And especially if you're remodeling and you need replacement brick mold for an arch topper around, a lot of times the lumberyard you're dealing with doesn't have that. So here we are, nice special order. Same thing on the inside. We match your casing, we can grind knives, no problem. So give us a call. Thank you.